Plaintiff Jessica Camdar says soon after she started dating the defendant, she discovered that he had anger and alcohol issues. Jessica claims one time they were fighting while she was driving, and the defendant punched her in the arm 7 times and even put her in a headlock. She's suing her ex for the balance of an unpaid loan. Defendant Patrick Card admits that he has anger issues and sometimes even blacks out from rage. And he deeply regrets assaulting Jessica while she was driving. However, Patrick claims Jessica also has severe anger issues, and she once gave him a black eye, so he refuses to repay her.
All rise. This court is now in session. The Honorable Judge, Greg Mathis, presiding. You may now be seated.
Prove your case.
I met Patrick back in about March of last year through a mutual friend at school. We started hanging out and then we got in a relationship. As the relationship furthered on, I started to realize that there was anger issues and drinking issues, and when he drank, he got angry. And then in about September, I think, we went to a friend's birthday party and he was drinking, I was there. Then I told him that I wanted to leave. He could stay, I'd come back, pick him up later. And he got mad that I wanted to leave because I didn't want to spend time with him and his friends and all that. And so I just walked out and he followed me out of the house, kind of yelling at me to tell me to stop and talk to him. I just kept walking out to my car, and then when we got up to my car, it continued, and then finally he got in the car, we drove back home, and then he punched me 7 times in the arm.
7?
While I was driving.
I'd like to state that.
I'll let you speak in a minute.
While I was driving, and put me in a headlock also, which obviously.
While you were driving?
Yes, while I was driving. I was turning onto our road.
Sense.
Huh?
Could you see?
Not for a little bit.
How long did he have you in the headlock?
It wasn't that long.
How long?
A couple seconds, maybe.
Okay, so for a couple of seconds, you couldn't see the road at all?
Yes.
Did the steering wheel shift?
Yeah, it swerved a little bit. But I tried to hold it because I couldn't see and I didn't want to wreck, obviously. So I tried to keep the car as straight as I could, not being able to see.
How did this incident end?
We ended up continue fighting after that still, but we tried to make it work, tried to make it better. But,
how often were you all physical?
From that point on, whenever we fought, we probably did. Not every fight, but majority of them maybe.
How often is that?
Like I would hit him just because I was frustrated. It was a stupid mistake because I was angry and frustrated, and I know it was not a smart choice.
So you would attack him, he would attack you from time to time?
No, that was the only time he ever did hit me.
Oh, so you were doing the attacking?
No.
That's what you said. You said you would hit him.
I'd hit him
He hit you once. You said, I would hit him, meaning you hit him more than once. So that wasn't the best thing to admit today. Go ahead.
Anyway,
what do you want to say?
Like she said, that actually did happen. You know, I'm sorry, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. I am truly sorry. I don't go a day without regretting it. I don't want to be that person, and I'm not that person. I have anger issues just like she does, and there's times where I'll black out, and I just don't know that happens, and I'll hit something.
You don't know what happens?
I'll black out, meaning I'll black out and I can't, I don't know.
You black out from drinking?
No, black out from rage, not from drinking.
Oh, really?
Yes, that's how angry I get. If I get pushed over the limit, I'll just black out, and it's never any good.
Okay. Have you been to see a doctor about
Actually, I went to anger management, yes.
No. Blacking out is something happens chemically in your head. Counselor can't counsel you out of blacking out.
Well, the counseling was to suppress my anger so that I don't get to the point where I'm going to black out.
But what I'm saying to you is that something else is going on when you have a physical reaction. It's like if I got angry and I went into convulsions. That's something else going on there. And anger management is not going to stop me from going into convulsions.
Right.
I'm going to need medicine.
Yeah, I never really thought of that.
All right, how often are you getting angry now?
Now I don't get angry as much as anywhere else.
As much as I used to. Yeah, but you see, something's going on. So get that checked out. Blacking out when you get angry. That means you can get angry while you're driving. And somebody comes over with road rage. You're going to get angry, you son of a gun, and then you just go, And you're going to run into a wall. All right? What else you want to tell me about your relationship? How long were you all together?
We were together less than a year. I mean,
Okay.
at the beginning, everything was great. It was perfect. We, happy couple, all smiles and
So
sunshine.
you started drinking excessively, it sounds like to me.
I don't drink excessively. I used to party. Yes, I like to party. And it's just every once in a while. I don't do it all the time, like she says. I mean, I can control my alcohol intake. Nothing really ever happens from it, but
All right. Why did
But
you
it-
all break up?
well, we couldn't get along. We'd always
Continuous
argue.
arguing.
Yeah, just jealousy. I had girls. I'm friends with a bunch of girls. That's mainly all I'm friends with because I don't like guys. But they text me and I text them back, and she just get angry about it.
What if she's busting you upside your head? You got all these women.
Well, there was nothing going on. I was loyal. I
She
never
know
did
better
it.
than that. She's not crazy. All you have is women friends coincidentally. Am I right or wrong?
Right.
All right, ma'am. How does he owe you for the unpaid loan? $400.
I originally lent him $600 for his probation fees, and he told me he'd pay me back when he got his student checks back. And so when he got his first one, he paid me part of it, which we agreed on. He'd pay me some so he could have some money.
He has, how much did he pay again?
$200.
And he hasn't paid $400, right?
Yes.
When was he to repay it?
December or November. I don't remember.
That's when I had my new
Of
apartment.
09? Of 09?
Yes.
Okay.
And I knew about the time he was supposed to be getting it, so I wrote him. I texted him and wrote him and asked him about it. And he told me that he couldn't pay me back because he paid his rent. He
Okay.
repaid his dad for his rent. So I went and asked his dad personally, did Patrick repay you any of this? And he said, no, he did not.
Okay.
So I talked to his roommate, and he told me that he had went out and bought himself an Xbox, a stereo, and a
All
TV.
right.
I
Sir?
did get some stuff from my apartment. I just moved in there. I didn't want to
But
have
apparently
anything
it
in
was more
there.
important than paying me back.
It wasn't more important than paying you back. I just had to get stuff from my apartment. That's where I was at 24/7. I had to have
Did
stuff to
you
do.
agree to repay her by November or December?
No, I had no agreement to repay her
When
at a
did you
certain end
intend
date.
to repay her?
I tended to pay her whenever I got my money from afterwards, after I got all this stuff
Have
done.
you gotten it?
No, I moved to Michigan to try to get a job and everything, and I got a job lined up now, so I should be good to go. But
Okay, so you intended to pay her whenever you got out of school and got a job.
well, not exactly.
Okay, exactly then. Tell me.
I moved to Michigan. I'm starting school in the fall.
Then let's back up when you borrowed the money.
I borrowed the money, yes, and then I told her I was going to pay her back. I had every intention of paying her back. But now that what I've been through, I don't feel like I should have to because I've been through, abuse, basically, physical violence.
All right.
For herself, I mean, she looks all sweet and innocent, but when you get her angry, it's like you're fighting Rocky Balboa.
right.
You should just come out swinging like it's an MMA fight.
Right.
I mean, there's times where she's like just punched me in the chest multiple times, hit me in the stomach, punched me in the arm. There's one
That
time
doesn't give you any right to punch me.
There was one time that she punched me in the
and put
eye.
a headlock.
Quiet, ma'am.
That was complete
Quiet,
accident.
ma'am.
There was a time where she punched me. I had a black eye, and then there's another time where she came to my apartment after we already broke up, knocked on the door. I looked at the people, it's her. I'm like, all right, it's fine. I'll just open the door. Open the door, and then whack. I had a bag. I had a bag that was over there. She was bringing back. Had a little crystal rock in it that I had got from Colorado. It was a little sentimental memory type deal, and that's what she hit me in the face with. She just threw the bag and
No.
just
Why
like
didn't you
whack.
countersue her today, sir?
I don't want to countersue. I'm not that kind of person. I mean, I'm just
You
going to let it
should
go.
be, because this isn't a valid defense. It's a valid countersuit. And based on her own admission today, you would win it. She says, yeah, I used to hit him. And that's a reward for pain and suffering and intentional infliction of emotional distress. All right, sir, did you want to speak today?
Well, I was
Come on,
just,
state your name and stand up, please.
hi, I'm Dwayne Durkis, and I'm Jessica's father. And I was just here as a support mechanism for her, and to
She
also.
don't need you. She stick up for herself pretty well. Sounds like to me she sticks up for herself pretty well.
Yeah,
But go ahead.
I think you're right. We've always tried to include Patrick in family events when they were together, and also give him an opportunity to make money around the house doing different jobs, and to help this issue of they're young, they don't.
Right.
It's tough to find jobs, and as an effort to do that, her mother's done that, her aunt's done that, I've done that, and I think she has some documentation to support that. Any way we could to try to help this loan issue. And then when we see that loan's not getting paid and that money's going to things that probably aren't that important, then it becomes
Well, it's going to get paid today. That's the good news.
Good.
You're in school?
I'm enrolled in school, yeah. I just moved, so I can't start school yet.
All right. Where are you going to start?
It's called Delta College in Michigan.
Where were you before?
I was at Ivy Tech in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
You're in school?
Yes.
Where?
IPFW.
Okay. All right. $400 for the plaintiff. There's no defense that she was assaulting you. That is a counterclaim, or that is a claim if you want to pursue it on your own. And it doesn't have to have a criminal conviction. It's a civil claim. And civil claims require you to prove your claim by a preponderance of the evidence, as opposed to beyond a reasonable doubt, which is the measure you have to prove to obtain a criminal conviction. But sounds like you're going to give her a pass, and that's the right thing to do. You're out of it. You're out of the firing line, and just stay away from it. If you like, I can have Daryl escort you to your hotel, and whatever you need to do to get away. $400 for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
I would love to see that we still remain friends. I'd love to come down to Indiana and just hang out with her, because that's what I plan on doing here pretty soon anyway. I just love to stay friends, stay connected, not have to worry about all this tension that we've had.
The only reason we've had this tension is because of this problem. If we do ever become friends again, it will not be anytime soon.